Welcome back to talkSPORT USA, talkSPORT's dedicated NFL YouTube channel with myself, Will Varney, and the NFL London games are in full swing this Sunday, live at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. The Denver Broncos taking on the New York Jets, live of course on talkSPORT 2 from 2:30 p.m. But look, we've had a host of amazing names join us on this channel over the last couple of years, and in my humble opinion, we're now joined by a genuine NFL superstar, a man who makes plays that almost have to be seen to be believed, a man who was the Offensive Rookie of the Year back in 2022. An absolute pleasure to say I'm joined by New York Jets wide receiver, Mr. Garrett Wilson. Garrett, welcome to London. How are you, my man?
I'm doing well. I appreciate that intro. That was awesome, man. Thank you.
Mate, it's really great to have you here in London. And I wanted to start, before we get into this season and before we talk about Sunday's game, I wanted to ask you about you, because your quarterback this week said you were a generational talent. Your head coach said he loves everything about you. Your offensive coordinator says you're the ultimate competitor. I mean, this is just your fourth season in the NFL. So when you reflect on your time so far, how has it been being a New York Jet?
Yeah, it's been an awesome experience, one that I wouldn't trade for anything. You know, I've learned so much in these 4 years, and honestly, hearing you say 4 years, I can't believe it's been that long. It's truly flew by, and a lot of highs, a lot of lows, and that's what makes this thing so beautiful. And I'm really thankful for all of it, and excited for what the future brings.
I wanted to ask you about that moment, signing that 4-year contract extension. Congratulations on that, by the way. It's when that happens in July, a lot of talk about contract negotiations and that process. But for you, I wanted to ask you about that moment, putting pen to paper, signing that deal, because in a way it's a culmination of all that hard work, those sacrifices from you and your family, and it's security. It's a life-altering moment. Tell me a little bit about that day and how special that was.
Yeah, I mean, it all starts with the call, and you kind of don't know what it's about. You have an idea, but man, I was actually on a walk, and just the feeling that ran through me when I was hearing that the deal was done and that this was a good deal, and my dad was on the other side of the phone with my agent, you know, stuff like that you realize that it's not even about you. You know, it's about the people around you that propelled you to get there, and just the feeling, the happiness that it brings them to see you chase your dream and to ultimately, you know, be in your dream. You know, this I'm living my dream right now, and the people around me that have helped me get here, and the people that made those calls when those days maybe weren't as great. Those are the people that make moments like that so special. But man, I'm excited to just make right on the Jets and them believing in me, because you know, we hadn't won a lot of games. So for them to come in and decide that, hey, we want to build around a guy like this, it meant the world to me.
You mentioned there how special it was, because this new regime comes into the building and it's almost seen as one of their priorities that they want to extend two of their cornerstone pieces in yourself and Sauce Gardner.
Yeah.
But like you mentioned there, you've dealt with a lot of adversity in these first 3 seasons that you had, and you chose to stay. I mean, there's a lot of players in your position who may have looked at other avenues, wanted to take their talent elsewhere, but you wanted to stay with this organization. Tell me a little bit about why you wanted to be a New York Jet and how special this organization is to you.
Yeah, I mean, just the way I was raised, man. My dad's kind of always I have 4 siblings, and the way we always kind of went about our business is finish what you started. You know, finish what you started. And along with a lot of other things that went into my decision, but like that was the number one thing that stuck out. Is like the Jets believed in me when you know, I was a first-round pick, so I don't want to say that no one else did, but they believed in me. Let's take Garrett Wilson, right? And that means the world to me. This new staff comes in and decides, hey, we think we want to keep number 5 around. That meant the world to me. And then not to mention like the work I've put in with these guys. We're really trying to build something, and we all want to bring something special to the New York Jets. We want to be the reason why, and with that, guys are going to do their actions accordingly. So for me, it's just, all right, let's be here. Let's dive all the way in, and let's settle in. And you know where you're going to be at now. Let's just go chase what you were brought here to do in the first place. And you know, at this point, it's been a little delayed, but I still plan to make right on you know, what I was brought to the New York Jets to do.
So in your role as a leader as well within this team now, I wanted to ask you about how you do pick yourself up. But there has been a lot of hard moments. How do you pick yourself up? Because you come from a winning culture in Ohio State, so it's not really transpired as yet with the Jets. So how do you do that day in, day out, game after game, season after season? How do you stay positive?
I love this game. First of all, I love this game. I look at it as a blessing to be playing the game I love and chasing my dream as I am. Um, and then just the belief in the people around you and keeping in mind the things we talked about, not forgetting what we talked about in that off-season prior. Like, we all believe in what we're doing, whether or not it's came to fruition yet. That's not exactly what we're focused on. It's the process, right? And we trust that once we're worthy, once we have truly dove in and we're deemed worthy, the results will show. And just talks like that with my teammates and guys like Sauce and Brees and Quinnen and Jermaine that I've been around for a long time, that we've all had this plan on how we're going to go about this and getting the Jets back to the playoffs, getting the Jets back with the winning record, things like that we haven't made right on yet. So it wouldn't feel right to go anywhere without bringing that.
Absolutely.
And that's our mindset.
In terms of the current season, then, I know it's a disappointing start and it's frustrating, 0-5 right now. How do you stay positive? What's your current assessment on this season so far?
Everything's still in front of us. That's the way I see it. 0-5 isn't a good feeling. If you would have told any of us that we'd be on 0-5 before the season, we would have told you, nah, definitely not. But that's where we are, and the only people that can dig us out of this hole is us. So just remembering that, knowing that no one guaranteed us anything coming in this year. We've got to go out and earn everything we get, and we still got 11, 12 more opportunities to go do that the rest of the season. So we're excited for every opportunity we get to play, and that's what keeps me faith, man. Every time I take that field, every time I put on that helmet, it's my legacy on the line, and I want it to be a good one. I know a lot of people on this team feel the same way, and we're going to keep fighting until it starts swinging in our favor.
Coach AG is tasked with turning these fortunes around, and from the outside looking in, he feels like a real player's coach. He has this level of intensity about him, but this is also personal for him because of his ties with the organisation previously. Tell me a little bit about AG. What's he like working with on a daily basis? What's he brought to this organisation since his arrival? Yeah,
he's brought that energy that really you can have if you played. And I'll go even the next step, that if you played for the Jets, he gets it. He gets the tough skin, the mindset, and the way you got to take the field each time as a New York Jet. He gets it because he's done it. So with that, there's so many different things that I feel like as players we're just grabbing onto, latching onto, and it's easy for us to relate to because, he talking like the things that we would say in a way. And it's been cool to see, man. I know for me, being a receiver, knowing that he's a DB, he's got a lot of good insight for me and tells in my routes, different things that come up throughout the season that he's been sure to vocalize for me, man. But he's brought a new energy, a new confidence that I ain't gonna fake it, man. We truly take the field every time like, hey, let's go get one for AG, man. Let's go get him his first one. So we're excited, man.
And he comes across as a special coach. And obviously there's been a lot of comparisons between the Jets start right now and what happened in the early reign of Dan Campbell with the Detroit Lions. A job where Aaron Glenn was on that staff. Does that go to show, does that reaffirm for you the need for patience, the need for no overreaction regardless of this start to the season?
100%. People have gone about things with this blueprint before, and it's worked, and for me, what else do you need to see? I'm obviously a believer in everything he says and the things he believes, but not to mention when you have the testimony from years prior, it's like, okay, let's keep grinding at this thing, let's keep our head down, and it won't be all for nothing.
I have to ask you about your quarterback. You reunite with Justin Fields, a really good friend of yours from your time in Ohio State, but I was fascinated by if there were any differences or any advancements that you've seen from Justin from the time that you last spent with each other 5 years ago in Ohio to now in New York. What have you seen from your quarterback?
Just the level of convos that we're having now. He's he knew ball back when I knew him in college, but now he's another coach out on the field, man. He truly knows everything that we're trying to do as far as our plan and just all the reps that he's has, bank reps, that he's gone against different defenses, different coordinators, man, he can really talk the game. And as a receiver, I got a certain way of seeing it. He's got more of the way that you should see it. I'm like, receivers, it's always like, hey, man, I'm open, And he's like, hey, I got to see this, I got to see that. And, man, I've truly seen him take a step in that regard. And, I would say with his speed even, bro, like he's even harder to tackle than I remember. He did a lot of things like that in college, but man, the play feels like it's never over. These first 5 weeks playing with him, and stuff like that as a receiver, like you're licking your chops because it makes the defense have to guard all day, stuff like that. It's going to pop.
Well, you just said there about you being a receiver. What on earth is in the water in Columbus, Ohio right now? Looking at the Ohio State receivers who come into this league and make an impression, yourself, Chris Olave, Marlon Harrison Jr., you've got Emiko Buka making such big strides as well.
Yeah.
JSN, it's the Seahawks. I mean, what on earth is going on with this production line from this university?
Yeah, man, I feel like it's just learning the process. When you're in college, if you can get 2 or 3 years ahead on the process and what it looks like to train like a pro, to practice like a pro, to lift like a pro, stuff like that. I could have bought into the lifting like a pro a little earlier there, but if you can do that at Ohio State, man, it's going to pay dividends for you. And I think the world's starting to realize that people aren't running from the competition like a loaded receiver room. It says a lot about a 5-star recruit that's willing to go into a loaded receiver room, right? And they see themselves as maybe the top dog coming out that room, or maybe they see it as, hey, maybe I'll go learn for a year. Either way, it says a lot about that player and their confidence level and their ability to just, be like water, I'll say. So I think Coach Hartline's doing a great job, and I know from experience he was doing a great job in the early stages while, I was there, and now he's in year 4 or 5 of running that room, and now he's a coordinator, so I can just imagine the attention to detail they're playing with and just the way they're being coached, man. It's special.
Final couple of questions from me, Garrett. Really, really appreciate your time.
Of course, man.
One, I mentioned some of those receivers around the league right now. One man charged with guarding them a lot of the time is Sauce Gardner with the New York Jets. I mentioned him as a cornerstone of this franchise. You battle with Sauce day in, day out, training. You make each other better. How helpful is that for the pair of you? And tell me a little bit about Sauce as well and the impact that he's had on your career.
Yeah, I mean, it's since day one, that's been something that's accelerated my development. Initially I didn't know it as far as you're going against one of the best dudes in the league. Rookie year I just thought I was going against Sauce. I'm like, hey, why this not it? I remember this getting more open when I did it against other guys, right? All of a sudden Sauce there a little bit, and turns out he was, rookie year, he's like the best corner in the league. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. You're going to be all right, Garrett. You're going to be all right. So just from day one, just like, man, I would say he like humbled me. He truly did, and from that point on, just building our relationship. It started with football and being competitive, and now it's grown into intel we're giving each other on the people we've seen and worked with in the off season, or just what we're seeing that week as far as game plan and how he would think about guarding me, because he's got that DB mindset, and in a way I see him as all the same. So like, I'm gonna be like, Sauce, what you think? For example, the Browns cornerback thinking. Because, yeah, man, they're all the same. So, for me, it's been truly, like, let me say this as well. Like, not being Sauce was the first-round pick. I was the second one. So just that pressure, the burden being taken off you as a first-rounder, it never felt like that weight of the organization, I guess, was on your shoulders. It just felt like we had 3 or 4 dudes bearing it all with you. And yeah, man, it's been special to come in with a guy like that and be able to go at it and compete every day. And then not to mention, over these last 4 years, growing to our friendship that we have. And I'm thankful for it, man. And yeah, man, I don't know where I'd be if we ain't coming together just like that. I truly don't.
So to Sunday then, taking on the Denver Broncos in London, like you say, looking to get AG his first win. This is a tough Broncos defense, as you'll be more than aware, top 5 unit from last season. So what big challenge will they pose you? How do you have to go up against a corner like Pat Surtain, for example, the defensive player of the year? What is that task going to be like for you? Yeah,
man, I mean, I've had the opportunity to go against Surtain a lot, and he's a great player, man. He's as good as he gets, and not to mention, I feel like their D line is one of the best in the league, and it poses a great challenge for us. Especially in the receiver room, it's always a race with that D line to get open, and I'm gonna have a great player trying to stop me from getting open on time. So we're excited for the challenge, man. As competitors and as someone, what better team to get our first win against than a worthy opponent, right? And that's the mindset around the facility. We want to get AG on the board, get on the board, and hit a stride. That's how we feel about it. But it's exciting, man. You want to do it against a good team, and that's what we got out here across the pond. I'm excited.
Absolutely. Final quick one from me. I know that this is an organisation with so many fans here in the UK and so many worldwide who, like yourself, are striving for the best for this organisation, for a team to be proud of. What's your message for this fan base to stick with you as a team throughout your career, throughout this season?
Yeah. Yeah, man. Nothing was guaranteed to us this season, but we got a special opportunity every week. It might not feel like it, but we never know when that I don't know, switch is gonna flip, man. You never know. So I would just say that. Even as players on the team, like, we don't know, but we're doing the right things. The process is there. We're thankful for y'all, and we understand how hard we made it on y'all. But the plan is to go make right on that, and that's what we're gonna do this weekend. We're excited.
Garrett, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you. Thank you so much for joining me here on talkSPORT. All the best for this weekend
I
and all for
appreciate
the
it.
season going forward as well.
Oh, man. Thank you, bro. Thank you for having me on. It's been a pleasure.